17 people watching right now.
Live from Darien High School, it's varsity baseball on the DAF Media Network. This afternoon, it's the Darien Blue Wave taking on FCIAC rival and border rival, the Stamford Black Knights. Hi, everybody. Damian Andrew with you. So glad you could be with us. We are on our way here after some technical difficulties. We are live on the DAF Media Network, and joining me this afternoon is Bill Vandegraff. So happy to have Bill on the live stream, and we are in the top of the third inning, and it is 2-1 Stamford as the visiting Black Knights put up a two-spot in the top half of the first. Darien tacked on a run in the home half of the first, and so here we are live in the top of the third inning. Runner on first for Stamford. And Mark Raimondi, the left-hander, at the plate right now. Foul ball. Justin Vandegraff getting the start this afternoon for the Darien Blue Wave, the senior. Ball in the dirt. And Nico Kites will trot down to second base. So a runner in scoring position for the Black Knights here in the top of the third. Full count on Raimondi with one out. And he lines out to Henry Williams, and they double off the runner at second as Kites is doubled off, and that will end the inning. So Darien escapes the top half of the third without allowing a run. Again, want to thank all of you for your patience. We had some technical difficulties here at the baseball field on the campus of Darien High School. So we are coming to you live now in the third inning. Darien taking on Stamford, FCIAC matchup. Stamford coming into this game 4-4. Darien 8-2, off to a terrific start. They are tied with St. Joe's at the top of the FCIAC East Division. Darien, of course, coached by longtime head coach Mike Scott, has done a terrific job with the program. And in his fourth season as the head coach of the Black Knights is Rit Lacomas. Stamford coming into this one 4-4, as I mentioned.
This game feels a lot like the Danbury game the other day. Darien got down 2-0 in the first inning, and then came back and evened it up, and then it was tight throughout. So we'll see what happens today.
Yeah, Darien coming off a 3-2 loss to Danbury. Stamford, meanwhile, coming off a 9-4 win over Brian McMahon, and leading off the bottom half of the third is Henry Williams. We're actually going to step away for just a minute, take a quick break, and we will be right back with live baseball on the DAF Media Network. We are back live on the DAF Media Network. Damian Andrew alongside Bill Vandegraff. Darien taking on Stamford this afternoon on a beautiful day, picture-perfect day. Henry Williams at the place. He goes chasing. He strikes out in the bottom half of the third. 2-1 Stamford. As I mentioned earlier, the Black Knights with 2 runs in the top of the first.
Otis has a nice curveball, I tell you. He's gotten several batters already on that curve.
And Nick Otis, the starting pitcher for the Black Knights, facing Sean O'Malley, the left-hander, the DH at the plate. And of course, O'Malley made a big statement 2 years ago as a sophomore with that game-winning hit with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th to win the FCIAC championship, beating Trumbull 3-2. And what an exciting game that was. Had the opportunity to be there at the ballpark at Harbor Yard in Bridgeport, where they have contested the FCIAC finals over the last several seasons. And that was a big moment for Darien, and on a personal note, a big moment for Sean O'Malley. O'Malley, a Salve Regina commit. He'll play college baseball there after this season.
Sean had a nice opposite field drive to knock in the first run there. A little reminiscent of the Harbor Yard shot he hit a couple years ago.
So Otis walks O'Malley. He trots down to first. This is a Darien team off to an 8-2 start. They've been red hot. In fact, lost their opener to Fitch and then rattled off 8 straight wins.
You know, the secret to their success has been, you know, really solid pitching and then and good defense, and they've strung enough hits together to win a lot of games. It's been fun. It looks like a double play right here.
Max Gasvoda grounds into the double play, and that will end the inning for the Black Knights after Otis walks O'Malley, but he's able to induce the ground ball, and the Black Knights turn 2. Again, want to thank all of you watching this live stream on the DAF Media Network. The DAF Media Network, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. So happy you could be with us. Want to give a shout out to our entire production crew who, well, they've worked hard to get this live stream up and running. Peter McLean, Anna Sapio, Thomas Kiernan, and of course Bruce Ferguson with us this afternoon. And as you mentioned, Bill, Darien, you know, you talked about O'Malley there, that hit in the first inning that drove in a run, reminiscent of that big hit in that FCIAC championship game back in 2016 at Harbor Yard, went over the left fielder's head, and then bedlam ensued.
It was first FCIAC championship for him in 35 years. It was a great moment. I think it was extra innings, right? 88 inning game. Rich Brereton went the whole way, and
he pitched phenomenal.
Absolutely, and he's having a great career now at Emory. So, but that was a huge moment for Sean. He's a terrific hitter, great power. You know, he injured himself the first practice of the season this season, pulled his hamstring. And he's just coming back now. So, I mean, you know, he's been hitting, but you can tell he's really starting to hit his stride now. Had a home run against Brian McMahon the other day and hit well at Danbury as well. So we need him to be a force in the lineup if Darien's going to be successful.
Leading off for Stamford in the top of the 4th, Jay Lockwood, the first baseman, he pops up right side of the field. And Finn Batson gets under it, makes the catch, 1 out.
Vandegraff threw about 30 innings the first inning, and he's had a few short innings here. So now only up to about 50 pitches after about 30 in the first inning.
Yeah, got off to a bumpy start, but he has settled down here, has Justin Vandegraff. Vandegraff, of course, a big part of the Darien boys varsity soccer team in the fall. First pitch to Jaden Dawkins is inside. Dawkins, the left fielder, number 20.
You got attitude, kid, attitude. Let's go.
And that bounced over the visitors' dugout.
The benches are a little bit more noisy today than I've heard in past games, both sides. We're a little closer to the Stamford bench, so I'm sure you'll hear them.
High school baseball dugouts always seem to be animated, just like in the college game. Foul tip.
Good off-speed pitch there by Vandegraff.
So 2-2 the count to Jaden Dawkins, the left fielder. Yeah, you mentioned it had been the first time in a long time that Darien won an FCIAC championship. They won it, of course, 2 years ago, 2016, and then the last time before that, 1981, and then they won it 10 years prior to that in 1971.
This team has about 12 seniors on it, so they got a lot of experience. And nice curveball by Van de Graaff there.
And that'll do it for Dawkins as he heads back to the dugout. Big strikeout there for Justin Van de Graaff. Here's Jack Palmer swinging, first pitch strike. Jack Palmer, Stamford's DH this afternoon. Strike on the inside corner there. 0-2 pitch, fouled off behind the visitors' dugout as Palmer stays alive in this at-bat.
You know, it looks like, Damien, the FCIAC's going to be wide open this year. A lot of good teams lost the other day. It's going to be really interesting as it comes down here to the second half of the FCIAC season.
No doubt about it. Staples, of course, a big force in the FCIAC West, as they seemingly always are. But you're absolutely right, Bill. The FCIAC, especially in recent years, a lot of parity in the league, a lot of great programs. And one of the things Darien head coach Mike Scott has done with this Blue Wave program is he has them consistently near the top of the standings. And that's strike three, as a pretty easy inning for Van de Graaff, as 1-2-3 inning for the Blue Wave. We head to the bottom half of the fourth inning. It's 2-1 Stamford. We are back on the DAF Media Network. Bottom half of the fourth inning. Arthur Xanthos, the catcher, to lead things off for Darien. First pitch from Nick Otis. Ball low. Xanthos grounded out the last time up.
Arthur's been one of the most consistent hitters for Darien this year. His sort of trademark opposite field line drives. He actually had the 2 RBIs against Danbury on Monday.
And that's a strike from Otis. 2-1 the count. Arthur Xanthos.
And I'll tell you, I've been watching Arthur for about 10 years. Nobody gets hit more than Arthur Xanthos. I'm not sure why, but he just got hit again.
He's the Don Baylor of the Darien Blue Wave baseball program as he trots down to first base, hit by pitch.
He
Xanthos
rarely
is
flinches either.
And that'll bring up Justin Van de Graaff, the pitcher, hitting in the 6th spot.
Wouldn't be surprised if they bunt here.
Little high, ball 1 to Van de Graaff.
Justin struck out the first time up on the curveball. He got a number of guys in the first way around the lineup.
And that ball is low.
Otis is at about 60 pitches right now through into the 4th inning. That was a foul.
Foul tip there. You know, we mentioned head coach Mike Scott of Darien. His dad actually used to coach at Stamford.
Really?
Was an assistant coach for the Black Knights.
So this is a little personal here.
A little personal here for Mike. Had the chance to talk to Mike last night. Gotten to know him through the years. So 3-1 count to Van de Graaff. Xanthos was going, but he walks him. So Darien in business here in the bottom half of the 4th inning with Xanthos and Van de Graaff aboard. And that'll bring up Harry Rahill, the first baseman.
Coach Scott going to have a little word, make sure they're on the same page here. I'd be surprised if they lay down a bunt here with Harry. He's got, I think he's got 2 home runs this year. The boys call him Band Room because the Band Room is in deep left field over the fence, and he's hit a few in that direction. So I'm sure Darien would like that. Oh, they're going to make a pitching change here today.
He does, in fact, have 2 home runs, Bill. 7 RBIs on the season. And Stamford's going to make a pitching change as Andrew Spezzano relieves Nick Otis, who started the game for the Black Knights. So it's number 12, Andrew Spezzano. So we are live on the DAF Media Network. Beautiful afternoon here at Darien High School. FCIAC baseball action between the 4-4 Black Knights of Stamford High and the 8-2 Darien Blue Wave.
It's the first, I think the first baseball game of the year that's over 60 degrees, thank God.
Well, it's our first broadcast of the year of baseball on the DAF Media Network, and certainly that made me very happy when I looked at the weather forecast this morning. You know, this is Darien, glad to be back home. They've played 4 of the last 5 games. We're on the road. So,
you know, what's interesting is they've played most of their games on turf. The Danbury game was the field was in kind of rough shape. There was some errors. It's not surprising given how bumpy it was. You know, and for a team that plays on turf all the time, it's a little tough to make that transition, particularly for the infielders.
I mean, it is just picture perfect this afternoon. So it's Andrew Spezzano, the pitcher for Stamford. Pop up, and Collazo gets under it in center field, and he makes the catch. And that will bring up number 16, Mac McLean. McLean, the third baseman for Darien.
So these guys could knock us out if they stand in front of this thing. I'm going to tell them.
Mac's been doing a great job at third base this year. He's also pitched a little bit, but very solid defender over there. Made a great play earlier in the game.
McLean's brother, Peter, directing for us on the DAF Media Network.
Just a little factoid, I had Mac McLean on my Little League team when he was 11 years old. He was a great player back then as well. Hit his first Little League home run in the championship semifinal game. It was a great moment for Mac. Let's see him do it right here.
You know, a lot of these players, obviously this is an FCIAC rivalry between Darien and Stamford, and a lot of these players have faced each other on the Little League diamond, as you mentioned.
Absolutely. A lot. What's kind of cool about the Darien team is all these boys have played together throughout the years.
And that's a called third strike, so McLean heads back to the dugout. 2 outs now as Andrew Spezzano comes on in relief and gets the job done. Facing his first batter, rings him up. Nick Conti now at the plate, the second baseman. It's a base hit, no. Nice play by the shortstop, diving catch, and that will end the inning as Stamford does not allow a run after.
Great play by Collazo at shortstop, ranging to his left, laying out for it. That was a terrific play, probably saved at least 1 run there.
Yeah, really nice play by Collazo. David Collazo, the shortstop, number 3. And Stamford gets out of a jam.
I think you paused it. Yeah, I think somehow it paused. I might hit, so do it again while we were waiting in between innings. Just hit it. See, there's the wave. Let it.
Nice play by Collazo, diving to his left, makes the final out. So we take a look at that on instant replay. So glad you could be with us this afternoon on the DAF Media Network for some varsity baseball in the FCIAC, Darien and Stamford. And it's the top of the 5th inning, and leading things off for Stamford,
Oliveri.
Number 9, John Oliveri, the third baseman.
She's got audio with Thomas. She can tell Thomas what she needs that she's not getting.
Van de Graaff finishing his warm-ups here. He's at about 60 pitches right now. Settled down after a tough first inning.
Well, and that's the mark of a quality starter, is when you get roughed up a little bit early on, but you're able to settle down, shorten the innings. And Justin Van de Graaff has done that this afternoon, as we are now in the top of the 5th. Stamford still up 2-1. And it's Oliveri, John Oliveri, the third baseman, leading things off for the Black Knights. Damian Andrew, Bill Van de Graaff, so glad you could be with us on the DAF Media Network. First pitch strike from Van de Graaff.
So important to get ahead of the batters. Work from ahead. Allows you to kind of use your other stuff.
Lifts it right side.
Oh, a great play by Ray Hill, but almost ran into Conte there. But great play. Ray Hill ranging to his right makes a great play over his shoulder. We got Collazo now back to the top of the lineup. Curveball by Van de Graaff. Van de Graaff ahead 0-2 now against the leadoff hitter. Collazo just made a tremendous play in the field. Justin actually, and a few of these players actually played in the same AAU team as Collazo, so they've seen David before.
Ground ball right side, fielded cleanly, and that's the second out as Conti fires it over to first to get the out, and Collazo is retired. That'll bring up Matt Wers, the second baseman. Pops it up. Van de Graaff has it, and that'll do it in the top half of the fifth. We go to the bottom half of the fifth. Stamford up 2-1. We'll be right back on the DAF Media Network. Come sail away with the Darien Foundation at their 20th year celebration and fundraiser, an evening of yacht rock on Saturday, April 28th at 6:30 p.m. at the Tokenique Club. This fabulous gala will feature yacht drinks and a dinner of gourmet food stations. There will also be dancing to America's #1 yacht rock tribute band, 3 Sheets to the Wind.
It don't take money, it don't take fame, don't need no credit card to ride this train.
The seaside setting and gorgeous water views at the Tokenique Club make this the perfect way to get a jump on summer. Since 1998, the Darien Foundation has awarded more than $4 million in grants to emergency responders, public schools, and nonprofits in Darien. For more information and to buy tickets to our Evening of Yacht Rock on April 28th, go to DarienFoundation.org. We are back live here on the DAF Media Network. Bottom half of the fifth, Justin Jordan at the plate for the Blue Wave. The center fielder, he'll play his college baseball right up the road, Bill Van de Graaff at Sacred Heart University. Terrific outfielder, leadoff hitter for the Blue Wave.
They're going to get a great player. Justin has been on the varsity team for 3 years here. Terrific pitcher and great defensive player, great hitter, great speed. Really makes things happen for Darien at the top of the lineup.
He was a big part of the Darien Blue Wave boys basketball team over the winter. Didn't play last year, played this year, and what a force he was. Their starting point guard. And that's a strike.
I think that speaks to the kind of athlete that Justin is, that he can take a year off from basketball and still be a really a strong player for the Blue Wave.
The 2-2 pitch. Deep left side, nice play by, and he is safe.
That's what I'm talking about right there with Justin Jordan. The speed, anything hit to the third base side of the field is going to be a tough out. Oh, that looked very close. In fact, it looked safe. It looked like he might have gotten him there, but the umpire called him safe.
David Collazo goes deep in the hole at short, and he just couldn't quite get him, as the leadoff hitter is aboard for Darien, and he is a dangerous one at that, is Jordan.
Let's see if they send him here. I think they ran him last time, down by 1. I'd love to get him in scoring position here.
Here's Henry Williams at the plate, 2-hitter, the shortstop.
Henry and Jackson Vaught combined for a no-hitter against Bryant McMahon a couple games ago. Henry threw 5 no-hit innings, and Jackson Vaught came in and finished it out.
Ground ball. Collazo comes up with it, but he doesn't have a play, so the first 2 runners are aboard here for Darien in the bottom of the 5th.
2 infield hits there is exactly what Darien needed. They got some speed on the bases now with their big swinger up here.
And here's Sean O'Malley as he steps to the dish with 2 on, nobody out here in the bottom half of the 5th. O'Malley, the DH. Pops it up behind the visitors' dugout. So the Blue Wave in business here in the bottom of the 5th. Nobody out, 2 on. Sean O'Malley, the 3-hitter, at the plate. Lines it to left, drops in, and that'll load the bases as O'Malley is aboard with a base hit. It was a shallow enough hit to left where Mike Scott elects not to send Jordan. So the bases are loaded, nobody out.
Yeah, nobody out. You're not gonna challenge that one, even with Justin Jordan as the lead runner. Sean was just a little out in front of that one, but had a nice line drive to left field. Let's see what Gasvoda can do here with the bases loaded.
And this is a dream scenario right here for the cleanup hitter, Max Gasvoda, the left fielder. At the plate, bases loaded, pops it up. Left side. And that'll be a foul ball.
We could not see that. I don't know if that was still in the...
Our angle was, we were blocked. 2-1 Stamford in the bottom of the 5th. Nobody out, bases loaded for Darien.
Max is a great fastball hitter here, and Darien really looking for something with the bases loaded. That's going to fall, I think, into shallow right field.
It certainly does. Here comes Jordan, and Williams held up at third, so Darien ties it up on the Gasvoda base hit to right as it drops in. Dare I say that was a Texas leaguer, perhaps.
Yes, that was not hard hit, but well placed, and a big RBI for Max Gasvoda. And now Arthur Xanthos, again, who's been swinging the bat very well as of late. Arthur got hit at the last time up. So that was a ground ball to the second baseman. Got the force at home, actually. So they got the lead runner. Nobody scored on that one.
So 1 out, tied at 2, and Justin Vandegraff at the plate with the bases still loaded. So a big out there for Stamford. Ground ball left side, double play ball. And they get it. So they turn 2. Darien didn't like that call, but that will end the inning as Stamford escapes further damage in the bottom half of the 5th. We are tied at 2 after 5 here at Darien High School. Darien, Stamford tied at 2. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to take a look at that replay. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back on the DAF Media Network. We are back here live on the DAF Media Network. Bottom of the 6th, Justin Vandegraff, the starting pitcher for Darien, still in the game.
It was a missed opportunity for Darien there. They had the bases loaded, nobody out, only able to get one run in there. It was a close play at first. It looked like the first baseman may have pulled his foot off the bag, but a good turn, and they got out of that.
So tied at 2 here as we head in the top half of the 6th. Leading things off for Stamford, Danny Colazzo, number 10, the center fielder.
It's an interesting game. Before we came on the air, you know, the first inning, it looked like it was going to be a high-scoring game, and it's been a tight one since.
Want to apologize, couldn't bring you that first inning. Had some technical difficulties here at the baseball field on the campus of Darien High School, but we are live now, and we've got a good one here. Tied at 2 in the 6th. Strike on the outside corner. 1-1 the count.
Off-speed pitch there by Van de Graaf.
And Justin Van de Graaf has found a rhythm here since the first inning.
Another off-speed pitch there.
And he strikes him out as Colazzo rather, is down on strikes. And that'll bring up Nico Kites, the catcher, number 5 for Stamford.
Again, the strength of this Darien team really is the pitching. Henry Williams, Justin Jordan, really terrific pitchers, have pitched well all year. Van de Graaf, the number 3 starter for Darien, and they've gotten great relief from Jackson Vaught and Mac McLean.
That was high. So 3-0 here to Kites. He's taken all the way and ball 4, and so Nico Kites trots down to first base as Stamford has a runner aboard here in the top of the 6th with 1 out.
I think that might be the first base runner since the first inning for Van de Graaf. No, that should be a double play right there. No.
Williams gets the out at first.
Yeah, good way to charge that ball. Not take any.
He was kind of caught in between there.
Absolutely.
Would have been a tough play to try to turn 2.
It's a smart play. Get the out. Don't want to. In a tight game, last thing you want to do is not get that out here.
Makes the sure out at first. There's Jay Lockwood, the first baseman. Big fella for Stamford. So we are tied at 2 in the top of the 6th. 2 outs. 1-1 the count to Lockwood. Lockwood chases it and he grounds it through the left side.
Here comes Kites. They got him
out at the plate. Big play that time on the relay as they get Kites at the dish. And
great
Stamford head coach Rit Lacomas talking to the umpire after that one, but a bang play at the plate, and that'll end the inning.
Great relay by Gas Voda and Mac McLean at third base. Mac turned it quickly. Xanthos was able to put the tag down there. That was a big play in a tight game here.
Yeah, big play. We go to the bottom half of the 6th, tied at 2. Stamford with a chance there to go up a run, but a bang play by the Darien Blue Wave defense. That's why you hit the cutoff man.
That's it. That's it. That's why you practice that in Little League. It's crazy how those plays always are so close, but Arthur was able to put on the tag. It was really well executed. You know, it's challenging also with the pitching here. Stamford went to, changed their pitchers. You got a lot of games coming up. Game every day or two with a lot of the cancellations due to weather. Some teams have games piling up, so you need to make sure you also protect your pitching staff to keep them available for upcoming games.
That is baseball, high school baseball, Bill, in the Northeast.
Yeah, absolutely.
My dad was a high school baseball coach in upstate New York, Chatham, New York, for many years, and they were indoors at their stations in the gym until the weather broke, and the weather never broke.
I read a tweet today, actually, from one of the high schools in the FCIAC. I don't recall exactly which one, but I think it's one that maybe hasn't been able to play many home games. Said that every high school should have a turf field in the Northeast because it's the only way you're gonna get games in regularly. And it's a real advantage for the teams that have it because they're able to practice a lot better and earlier in the season.
Well, this is just a beautiful facility here at Darien, turf field.
They're actually going to be replacing this turf this summer, I think. So this was the original turf when they built this stadium, and they've turfed almost every other field at Darien High School. And this one is getting a redo in the off-season.
So due up for the Blue Wave here in the home half of the sixth. It's Harry Ray Hill. He'll lead things off. Mac McLean and Nick Conti. And he bounces one foul. I want to give a shout out again to our entire DAF Media production crew. Did a terrific job getting us live this afternoon after some technical difficulties earlier. Anna Sapio, Peter McLean, and Thomas Kiernan. And here's the pitch to Ray Hill. Chops it left side, foul ball. And that's a ground ball to first as Lockwood steps on the bag for the out. So Ray Hill is retired as he grounds out to first. And Stamford's relief pitcher, Andrew Spezzano, has done a nice job since he came into the game.
Yeah, he mixes up his pitches well. And they're out in front of it a little bit, having trouble kind of timing him well.
Has a very deliberate delivery. And here is Mac McLean. As he fouls the first pitch off. 0-1 to McLean.
Darien Athletic Foundation
trying to drag a bunt there. Bill
covered the 11th, 12th grade house ball championship this year, and Mac McLean was one of the key players that took that team to the championship.
We had a lot of fun doing that. That was a real treat. Ball in the dirt. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to McLean.
I don't want to tell you who the coach of that championship team was, but we'll talk about that later.
I had a feeling you might bring that up. Chopper left side.
A good play by the third baseman there.
And nice play as McLean is retired. John Oliveri.
He made a very good play there. He charged it, so he was able to get a good hop and make a good throw across the diamond.
Here's Nick Conti now up for Darien, the second baseman.
Conte hit a shot to up the middle, which could have scored a run, and Collazo made a diving grab for it.
One count to Conti. And that'll be a fielded, and he's safe at first. So the throw to first brought Lockwood off the bag. Tough play as Wers, the second baseman.
You kind of rushed that throw a little bit. I don't think he needed to make that kind of throw. He probably could have set himself and made a better throw.
And that'll bring up Jordan with 2 outs. Foul ball behind home plate. 0-1 the count to Jordan. Justin Jordan. He'll bring that speed to Sacred Heart University next year, where he'll play on the baseball team there.
Ooh, that was Conte looked like he was leaning there maybe a bit. Wasn't expecting the throw over. Coach Michelli needs to keep him honest over there.
Foul ball, left side, out of play. So 0-2 now to Jordan. Bottom of the 6th rather, tied at 2. And this has been an entertaining FCIAC baseball game this afternoon from Darien High School. Jordan, foul left side.
Was a better cut there. He looks like he's starting to get a sense of the pitcher.
Getting a little breezy here. The wind has picked up just a tad, but otherwise, picture-perfect day here for some high school varsity baseball. 1 on, 2 outs. Justin Jordan at the plate. Base hit through the left side, and Darien has 2 runners aboard. Jordan came into this game hitting .290.
Henry Williams now in a big spot. This Conte's got good speed on second base, and Jordan very fast at first.
So Williams, the 2-hitter, at the plate with 2 on. Swinging first pitch, and it gets through the right side, and Darien is going to take the lead as Conti scores from second base on the base hit by Henry Williams. Swinging on the first pitch, so now we have runners on first and third, as with Jordan's speed, he gets from first to third.
That was not hit overly hard, but perfectly placed right between the first baseman and the second baseman. And that brings up Sean O'Malley, who had a double earlier in the game today.
First pitch high. O'Malley, as we mentioned earlier in our broadcast, has been known to come up in big spots. Second pitch high. So a timely hit by Henry Williams as he pushes one through the right side, just out of reach of the first baseman, Jay Lockwood of Stamford.
Darien would love a little extra padding here to go into the 7th. It looks like they're pitching around O'Malley a bit. You can't blame him, given Sean O'Malley probably the best hitter on this Darien team. Certainly the most power.
3-0 count to O'Malley. Runners on first and third. And that is a deep fly ball to center field. And that is a home run, a 3-run home run for Sean O'Malley. Talk about coming up big in a big spot as the senior designated hitter sends one over the fence in left center field. And he trots around. Big hit for Sean O'Malley as Darien surges to a 6-2 lead in the home half of the 6th.
I guess he got the green light on the 3-0 count there, Damon. What do you think?
He certainly did. I was just about to say that. He took the words out of my mouth. He was not taking 3-0.
No, that was a huge hit for Darien and for Sean O'Malley. It's the second home run of the year. He's really starting to swing the bat well after, again, getting off to a bit of a slow start with the hamstring injury.
I had a chance to talk to Sean the other day as he was in the cage on a drizzly afternoon here at Darien last week and taking some extra BP with Harry Rahill. And the left fielder camps under it, hauls it in, and that will do it as Gasvoda flies out to left. But the damage is done here in the bottom of the sixth as Darien puts up a 4 spot and they take a 6-2 lead. We're going to take a quick break and we will be back on the DAF Media Network. We are back live here on the DAF Media Network.
Hey, Jake, come on now. Come on, Jake.
Darien up 6-2.
Vandegraff had about 80 pitches, so we'll see how long they let him go here. Jackson Vault warming up in the looks like he fouled that off his foot.
So Jaden Dawkins takes one off his foot as Stamford head coach Rit Lacomas comes over to tend to his left fielder.
Yeah, no, it is 6. It's 6, not 7. They're right. Yeah, no.
So it's the bottom of the 7th, or I'm sorry, the top of the 7th here as Stamford will try to rally, and after a 4-run 6th inning for the Blue Wave, we've got a little break in the action here as Dawkins is back on his feet after taking one off the foot. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back here on the DAF Media Network. Okay, we are back live here on the DAF Media Network. Varsity high school baseball FCIAC matchup between Darien and Stamford. Blue Wave up 6-2, and Jaden Dawkins, the left fielder, at the plate for Stamford. 1-1 count. That ball in the dirt, 2-1. Justin Vandegraff still in the game. He started the game for Darien, gave up 2 runs in the top of the first, and he has settled down all zeros on the scoreboard. As
great
Dawkins,
play by Conte, reacted very quickly off that line drive.
Dawkins lines out to Conte, and 1 away here.
Credit to Dawkins, you know, bouncing back from hitting it off his foot there, and really got a good piece of that ball.
Here's Jack Palmer at the plate now, the left-hander for Stamford.
Come on, Jack.
With 1 out. He pops it up behind the visitors' dugout, left side of the field. And it's 1-1. And Justin Vandegraff still in there, has done a terrific job since giving up those 2 runs in the top of the first for Darien.
A little curveball right there by Vandegraff. It's be a big out here for Darien.
The 1-2 pitch. And he gets Palmer swinging. And the DH is down on strikes. So Stamford down to its final out here in the top of the 7th as John Oliveri, the third baseman, at the plate for the Black Knights. Fouls one off.
Thank you.
This may be, if Darien's able to put this one away, it would be the first time they've come from behind for a victory. I think every team needs to be able to do that. They've, in their win streak, they were playing ahead for most of the games.
And Bill, this would be a good bounce-back win. Obviously, rattled off those 8 straight wins. Then the last time out loss to Danbury, 3-2. Tough loss.
Absolutely, and you know, Darien goes into the real meat of their schedule coming up. They play a lot of really solid teams, so this would be a big win for them at home today.
Next up for Darien is Wilton Wednesday, and the DAF Media Network will be doing that game as well. Foul ball as Oliveri stays alive.
Let's see if Vandegraff goes to that off-speed pitcher curveball to get him here.
2-2 pitch and just misses.
He did go to the curveball, but just missed. This is big. You don't want to flip the line up here and go back to the to lead off. Big.
And that is a base hit to right for Oliveri as Stamford stays alive here in the top of the 7th, and that'll bring up the top of the leadoff hitter, David Colazzo. You jinxed him.
Well, you know, again, this might be Vandegraff's last batter. He's at 93 pitches right now, and you know, they've got Jackson Vault ready to bring in if they want to do that.
First pitch to Colazzo, high and inside.
Hey, Dave, come on now. Come on, 3.
Colazzo fouls it back. 1-1. I think Justin would like nothing more to get a complete game win.
He threw a complete game 2-hitter against Guildford in his first game out this year. It'd be great for him to get another one here.
So it's 1-2 now. Ground ball to Williams at short. He gets the easy out at second, and that'll do it as Darien comes from behind to beat Stamford 6-2. It was a 2-1 Stamford after the first inning. Darien tacked on a run in the 5th, and then they put up a 4 spot in the bottom of the 6th thanks to a 3-run home run by Sean O'Malley, their designated hitter. I want to get your final thoughts on this great effort by Justin Vandegraff. Starts the game, complete game win for him, gives up those 2 runs in the top of the 1st, and then he puts all zeros on the scoreboard after that.
Yeah, you know, he threw about 30 pitches in the first inning. They started out with an error and had a few hits, scored 2 runs. He really settled down, which was big. And then the bats for Darien came alive, and I think you know, gave him more confidence as the game went on. So you know, it's important for a starting pitcher to be able to settle, make sure you get some endurance there to you know, to get the win, and it was a big win for Darien. You know, after an 8-game win streak, a letdown against Danbury. So, to come back against a quality team like Stamford and get the win, I think is really big for this Darien team. And they go and play a really strong Wilton team on Wednesday. So an important bounce-back win for Darien.
Our maiden voyage here on the DAF Media Network, doing a varsity boys baseball game, and we got it in. We were a little late to the party, but we got it on, and saw that 3-run home run by O'Malley in the 6th. Big hit for him. And we will be back here on Wednesday, DAF Media Network, doing that Darien-Wilton game. So a big win here for the Blue Wave as they improve to 9-2 on the season. Want to give it a shout out to our entire DAF Media production crew. Peter McLean, Anna Sapio, and Thomas Kiernan did a terrific job getting this on the air. And I want to thank you, Bill Vandegraff.
Thank you, Damon.
We'll do this again sometime.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. And again, if you need me to fill in over the next coming weeks, I'd be happy to do it. We got some other parents who have some velvety voices to for the Darien Athletic Foundation. So I'm sure it'll be great. But thank you for this. The kids love it. I'm sure they'll be watching the replay. But it's great you guys can do this for us. And from what I can see from the video, it looks really terrific.
Yeah.
So thanks to everybody.
Yeah, we'll iron out some kinks, but some great angles of this game. But again, want to give everybody, I want to thank our entire production crew. And for Bill Vandegraff, I'm Damian Andrew. This has been a production of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. You've been watching Varsity Baseball on the DAF Media Network. Have a great night, everybody.